So this is to demonstrate, how well a diaphragm wastegate really seals. It's immersed in water. It's using positive seal pneumatic fitting that's meant not to leak. It's hard to see the gauge, but the gauge is up there, and you'll see as I turn up the air pressure how much this thing leaks. This is a 30-pound gauge. There isn't even really any flow going in there. That's only been turned up 2 psi. You can see exactly how well these wastegates that are on the market today are designed, how well they're meant to seal up. So if you're using CO2 or anything of that nature, it's not exactly holding the pressure that you had in your CO2 tank. And as you see the gauge is dripping down because air is actually leaking through it. And we'll turn it up again. And it's not only leaking at the top of the gate, but it's also leaking straight out the valve or the discharge of the gate. So the pneumatic pressure in your intake manifold is also being leaked through the gate itself. So much for the diaphragm. And that's only at like 23 pounds of boost. Lovely. And now we have the Synapse wastegate. We've got air pressure connected to port D, the bottom port, which is the port that communicates with the casting and it has to seal off the valve stem of the gate. We've got zero pressure here. Let's turn it up. (15 psi). Turn on the pressure. All the way up to 25. 30 psi. No leaks. Pneumatically sealed chamber on the ports that are most important to raise your wastegate valve under operation. We'll try the other port, and what you'll see is the chambers will equalize and release whatever air was on the other side of the seal, and then it'll seal. Once equalized, connected to the port, there's no leaking. Pneumatically sealed chamber. And at 30 psi, once the chamber's equalized, let's let off the air move the air that's on the other side of the valve, that's trapped on the other side of the seal. There's no leaking. And now the Synapse gate up close. 30 psi, no leaking. We'll check the two bottom ports that are responsible for lifting the valve. Once it equalizes, no leaking.